How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Fate Stay Night Remastered. Shirou and Kuromine are trying to escape the forest now that they have rescued Emiya. But it's not necessarily a successful rescue if you can't really, get away from the foes that are chasing after you. And I brought this up in the last episode. They escape the forest, and then what? These crazy, enemies here that we have can still absolutely follow them. There's really no escaping, in my opinion. Here we have one of our crazy enemies here, Berserker, or Evil Berserker, if you will. And then there's also the evil variation of Saber out there somewhere. Kuromine actually got split up from Shirou to go into a little bit of a fight against Assassin and Zoken. And where we left off in the last episode was Zoken being defeated, potentially. I don't know if he's necessarily, down and out. We'll have to wait and see. But now Shirou is up against this guy. And I don't know if it's going to go really well. Time is stopped. Emiya screams a plea, but the giant doesn't know who she is. It swings its greatsword down at her. I run. I was thrown about 10 meters. But I can cross that in an instant. I know I'll make it if I run. In the span of a single breath, a narcotic blood propellant will propel my body like a jet stream, and my thoughts will blaze like lightning. I take a step forward. My body feels light. I can feel time stop. I can make it. I know I'll make it, but once I do, the black key had no effect. I had no effect. That's why. I rummaged through my armory, searching for something to make. Something that can beat him. Something that's strong enough to stop him here. How obvious. It can only be the greatsword he's holding. No way, he's gonna just... It's gonna be the same sword against this sword. I blocked it. I project a weapon as if it comes naturally to me, and take the giant's axe sword head on. It's cracked. Fissures form in the axe sword I projected. At the same time, the feedback from using something I shouldn't have used nearly kills me. Well, yeah. I'm sure there's also a size difference and a weight difference to consider. I'm thrown through the air. The axe sword shatters against the giant's second attack, and my body tumbles along the ground like a piece of trash. Fading. My mind is fading. I can't think. I try to collect my scattered self, but I can't think. My left arm revolts against me. My blood overflows. The mere act of projection, even though my left arm is still bound, halves my IQ, and I feel an awful chill that tells me that there's no going back. That terrible premonition will turn out to be true. The first things I'll lose will be the most precious to me. A tempest rages around me. I'm bathed in blinding light. I can't see. I can't find it. I've lost sight of it amidst the pain. I'm looking for it, but I can't find it. My ego becomes a grain of sand in the desert, never to be found by anyone ever again. And I'm thirsty, 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 thirsty. Emiya's here. I'm on the ground. Sorry, we were, quite literally lost, I think, a little bit there. The dark giant is about 10 meters away. Its red eyes dazzle as if searching for my thrown body. Oh, that's right, it's blind. The evil berserker can't really see. I return to my senses. This is no time to be taking a dirt nap. My body can still move. My only injuries are scratches from tree branches. I'm only lightly bleeding, but my lungs feel tight. I gasp for air, trying to oxygenate my exhausted body. Oh, sorry, that's all. What's more important are my insides. I don't want to know what they look like, but I can still fight. Yeah, screw the internal bleeding, you know? And whatever organs may be completely, gone. I grab Ilya's hand and start running. Even if I'm not injured, I still need to catch my breath. I need to at least get out of his reach for a minute so that I can compose myself. However, Ilya resists my pull. Something's wrong. Berserker is behind Ilya, trying to pinpoint where we are. I can't think straight due to the lack of oxygen. I can't figure out why Ilya asked me that question.
Ilya?
Ilya looks gloomy. My head won't work, so I just get angry instead. I pull Ilya's arm. She's so small, but she's trying to help me. It feels so terribly precious. She hammers her little fists on my head. I ignore it. I hug Ilya tight. Her eyes ask me why. What a dumb question. It doesn't matter why. Yeah, you don't get to say that after you've called him Big Brother like, I don't know how many times, but pretty commonly throughout the, not only this route, but the route prior and the route before that especially. The dark giant turns this way. I wonder if there is actually some sort of deeper connection between the two than has actually been presented so far. I mean, I already know, like, a little bit more about Ilya than I did back in Fate, you know? She's not who we all think she is, right? I mean, the Fate route, by the way. I can think later. Right now, I need to put as much distance between us as possible. I mean, at the end of the day, she's a homunculus, so I don't know if there really is too much to really consider otherwise. It's a little strange. The speed with which Shirou Emiya runs with Ilya in tow far surpasses what she knows he's physically capable of. Where the hell are we? They come into a familiar clearing. The choking, ragged breaths belong to Ilya. I don't feel out of breath at all. Maybe my body has gone numb. It feels hard because I lack oxygen, but it's like I'm not even breathing. Like I'm a dead man. My heart's been on a complete strike for a while now. Yeah, definitely. Ilya's fingers feel scarily hot as they grip mine. She's never had the physical strength to keep running like this. Her creators never thought she'd have to engage in physical exercise like other humans while they were designing her. I have a headache. Knowledge I don't know is entering my brain. They're distractions. We need to get away from here. The giant is closing in on us, even though its intellect and senses are sealed. For a while, it seemed to go in the wrong direction, but I don't like how fast it's getting. My legs are shaking, and I calmly judge that I won't be able to move more than 10 more meters. Ilya can't run anymore either. We could try to hide, but there's no cover around here to conceal us. Naturally, it wouldn't do a lick of good to hide from a berserker that can't see to begin with. We can count one small blessing. There's a crevice in the clearing that widens into a ditch. It's a scar that Saber's noble phantasm left on the ground. Oh yeah. That's where we're at then. I take Ilya and jump into the ditch. The trench is easily wide enough for two. I rest my back against the bare earth. I look up at the sky, catching my breath. The sky looks small and cut off from us. It's like we're underground. I take deep breaths. I used this short pause to rest and calm my frayed mind. But our response only lasts for a moment. Repose, sorry. The giant won't lose us. No matter where we run, it'll track us down, capture us, and slaughter us. The girl next to me is curled up, trying to keep her voice down. Emiya stifles her voice and hugs herself, trying not to burden me. We're at the end of the line. We can't run anymore, and I can't keep it in check. I look at the red shroud around my left arm. Our one way out has been waiting for me to unlock it. I'll die. Kotomine said that it's the fuse on a time bomb. I'm reminded of my earlier pain. A single projection almost shattered me. I can't imagine how agonizing it would be once I unwrap this arm. The trigger is always in my mind. If I reach for the shroud, it's no different from putting the muzzle of a gun in my mouth and pulling the trigger. The hammer will fall if I unwrap the shroud. My brains will be blown out the back of my skull, and everything will end. I brought this up before, guys, but it really doesn't seem like we're getting any sort of happy ending in this story. Make up your damn mind. I've always known the answer. I'll bring Emiya back and save Sakura. I know what that means. I'll keep protecting Emiya, defeating that alien shadow and tear Sakura away from it. That's the impossible miracle that I've wished for. Even now, I desire that outcome with every fiber of my being. I know it's a dream, an ideal, that will never come true, but I've never even considered giving up on it. So I have to go. I'll save Sakura and help Emiya. I can't do it. Sakura is dying. Her path contains nothing but destruction. Someone told me that it would take a miracle to save her. That's right. Salvation that humans can't achieve. To acquire a miracle that you can't achieve on your own, you have to pay an appropriate price. You can't protect yourself while saving someone else. What if the only way to rescue Sakura from her path to ruin is to have someone else trade places with her? The old equivalent exchange. The earth trembles. A living tempest is charging towards us. She's realized that I'm holding my left arm with my right hand. With my right hand, I give Emiya a light pat on the head and walk along the trench. I leave Emiya. I'll lure Berserker away and fight him head on. I need to make sure that we're far enough away that Emiya doesn't get involved. I touch the knot, securing the holy shroud to my left shoulder. It's tied tightly around my wrist, so I have to undo it from the shoulder. Once it's untied, I can tear the rest of it off. When I do, the pain I'll feel will be dozens of times worse than anything I've experienced so far. Kotomine called it the fuse on a time bomb. I'll ignite it once I take off the shroud. I don't know if I'll explode 1 minute later or 1 day later, but I'm certain that there's no putting out the flame once it's lit. My tongue is dry. I can't shake off the fear, even though I know what's coming. I'm so nervous I want to scream. I wonder if I'll stay sane. I'm utterly terrified of myself. It's only natural that I'll die. My being here makes that a foregone conclusion. But if I'm going to be killed anyway, then I want to keep living as long as I can. So there's only one thing I'm afraid of. I hope that my mind won't break before my body does. Will I withstand the pain? No, probably not. Will I forget who I am, who Emiya is before the fight even starts? Will I even forget my vow to protect her? That's what I'm afraid of. More than anything else. That's why I've kept this sealed away. I told myself that I'd never use this arm, even if my life was in danger. What's happened to Berserker could happen to me too. I might give in to the pain, lose my mind, and turn into something like that. I'll always be afraid of that as long as I have this left arm. It's the embodiment of the nightmares where I'm killed. And yet, if I know that, then why am I still here? Don't worry about that. As I think that, there's only one reason I'm still here. He wanted me to live until it was time to use this arm. He knew I would need it, so he entrusted it to me. He said that I would judge myself. Emiya said that I've done nothing wrong. It is crazy that, like, we've kind of come full circle physically. We are back to where this all came, where this all basically, changed for Shirou. Where Archer died, gave up his arm, this curse thrusted upon Shirou in this way. And with Emiya in tow yet again, I'll redeem myself here. I betrayed myself and sacrificed so many lives, but there's something I still won't compromise on, and I'll keep living for it. I channel my strength into my red punishment. Will I live or will I die? I take a deep breath, bracing myself for what's to come, and tear the shroud. Oh boy. In an instant, the world falls apart. Yeah, that's a fine amount of text right there. Maybe that's like Shirou's internal screaming. Despair howls. The gust exceeds 100 meters per second. I'm being battered by a tempest that no person, no living thing could possibly survive in. It isn't even wind anymore. The air pressure is a steel storm crushing my body. Oh, here we go again. This kind of reminds me of, like, in one of the first arcs of Bleach, when Uryu Ishida, whenever he basically was ready to call it quits on basically who he was to unleash the power that he had access to. It smashes my eyeballs. It crushes me into a wall. Also, by the way, guys, watch Bleach. It is just so good, or at least read the manga if you haven't. I've brought up Bleach, like, when I first started recording this a whole year ago, but, I'm still thinking about it, and I never will stop. I can't move a finger, much less lift my arms. My blood flows backwards. My mind is bleached clean. There is no pain. The concept of feeling and enduring pain is far too human. What if we just became Archer? That'd be pretty cool, this is just how we become Archer. I melt. I can't even cry out in defiance. I have nothing. No way to resist. I need to move forward, but I can't even lift a finger. How many times are we gonna do this? I'm letting it play out because, cinematic and whatever. I melt into the white. My body and mind crumble into senselessness. Forward. Why am I here? Still forward. What did I become like this for? Beyond. What am I fighting for? Go forward past this wind. Oh, here we go again. God damn it. I don't know. I find it kind of funny, kind of cinematic. All those lines of nothing. I vanish. My mind held on even after my body had failed long ago, but now it disappears. I can't hold it together. I can't move no matter how hard I try. I can't hang on no matter how determined I am. I try focusing every fiber of my being into clenching my right hand. If I can do that, then I can plant my feet. If I can move any part of my body, I'll use that as a foothold to move forward. I can't move my fingers, much less make a fist. My left eye is pulverized. The howling wind punctures my eardrums. My consciousness and sight are fading. Amidst it all, I see an impossible vision. No, this sure got quiet. It really did get quiet here. Damn. He's standing. He's standing in the middle of this wind. He's trying to make it to the other side. Like it's the natural thing to do. He walks through the steel wind, scarlet cloak fluttering. God damn it, man. What is this supposed to symbolize? What are these lines, you know? I clench my jaw. I hear my teeth grinding. My right hand has been balled into a fist all this time. It's the least we can do there. The Red Knight doesn't look at me. He turns slightly, revealing a grim face, excuse me. He doesn't care that I'm about to be swallowed by the wind. He foresaw this outcome. Shirou Emiya cannot defy this wind. He's known all along that there's no future for a man who betrays himself and clings to wishes he can't handle. His words are correct. Someday I'll be judged for my accumulated debts. And yet his back says, with contempt, with faith, he's waiting for me to arrive. My vision burns. Heat bursts into my senseless body. I cut through the wind with my limbs as if I'm swinging great swords. With all my strength, I charge past his red back. I step onto the earth. The wind has gone still. The dark giant is 30 meters away. He can reach me in less than 3 seconds. That's why. Oh shit. I'll finish this in 3 seconds. My mind is razor sharp. I know my own fighting strength. The projection of matter, leveraging principles of creation, fundamental points, structural materials, manufacturing techniques, host experience, and accumulated time. A reality marble that overlays the map of the world imprinted in my soul onto the world. A manifestation of my mental world according to the magecraft theory of the world egg. I inherit Archer's accumulated skills, experience, and physical strength. Correction, I failed to load his physique. I'll still die if Berserker slashes me. I cannot use his reality marble unlimited blade works. Archer's inner world is different than mine. I can't recreate it. All I can replicate are the noble phantasms that he's recorded, and the things which Shirou Emiya has personally learned. If I decide to draw a noble phantasm for my left arm, it will search unlimited blade works for the most appropriate weapon to my purpose and replicate it. Be warned, however, projection is a double-edged sword. If I use it even once, I'll... Oh, shit. I hold my breath and cram all of my magical energy into my left arm. I just need a weapon that I can use. I'm well aware of the risks. Further ahead, I'll go past this wind and strike myself down. I stare at him. I take in every millimeter of his greatsword. I spread my left hand and take hold of an imaginary weapon that has yet to appear. It's incredibly massive. Shirou Emiya cannot handle this sword, but this left arm can replicate the enemy's monstrous strength. Again, like, it's strange, you know? But we're seeing it, you know, right here, you know, that he can just bring in this big-ass sword, even so it really doesn't fit his physique whatsoever. Something breaks. A part of my chest shatters with a metallic sound. My skeleton buckles under the flow of magical energy. It's pathetic, like an apple peel. I'm beyond worrying. The arm will make up for my broken parts. I devote my undivided attention to killing my enemy. So did Shirou actually go blind in an eye there? It kind of looked like his right eye was not really there anymore. But that could have been like an artistic thing. He's noticed. His bloodlust focuses on me. The dark giant senses my magecraft as a hostile act, and his eyes move. They're like black ominous stars. The giant roars a death cry and storms in to slaughter his enemy. Berserker. In his rage, the giant hasn't changed. He's still trapped in his battle with Saber. Blind, insane, and rotting. He dies a second death while still fighting to protect Emiya. 1 second. The charging giant won't stop at one attack, and normal projections won't save me. My trace projections won't work on him. I can't defeat this giant unless I project something beyond my limits. So I visualize 9 blows. I duck the first swing, activating all 27 latent magic circuits in my body. 2 seconds. He's in front of me. The great sword comes down. Air pressure viciously whips me. I step in to meet the assault. My aim focuses on 8 vital points. 9 lives, Blade works. And I surpass his sonic speed with a godlike swiftness of my own. Damn, bro. Just created the slashes of a parallelogram. Actually, that wasn't a parallelogram. That had 5 sides to it. What would that be again? He won't go down. Berserker's still standing, even after being ravaged by his own weapon. It's not a trapezoid. I take another step forward. My left hand holds a giant sword. I'm faster. Berserker's dying without 8/10 of his body. I can finish him first. I lift the sword to chest height and drive it in like a spear. But I lost. My initiative didn't matter. I used every last drop of the rule-breaking power that I was given, and I still lost. Berserker's attack comes swinging down. It kicks up a tempest that buffets me. I twist my body, evading with all my might. I saw the attack coming. I can dodge this. Berserker's slash will only graze my temple. But even that would be lethal. He only needs to graze me by a few millimeters to kill me. A direct blow would be literally earth-shattering. A close shave by his sword tip would splatter my head like tofu. The greatsword swoops in. My vision freezes the instant my head is about to be taken off. But his greatsword swung with menacing drive, halts with equally frightening abruptness. The executioner's axe stops short of my neck. Why? The dark giant is looking at something in front of him, not at me. His mindless eyes are staring at a pale girl peeking out of the trench. I pierce him. I don't miss the opportunity to mercilessly drive my sword through Berserker's heart. He doesn't fight back. This time, the giant's remaining life crumbles to dust. In those final moments, his fading red eyes urge me to protect her. Hey, we got a Steam achievement for killing Berserker, this time for real. The battle only lasted a moment. It really was finished in the span of a single breath. With trembling lips, the boy told the girl that he was leaving. He took the red bindings in his hand and left her side, swallowing his fatigue and his worry. She came out of the ditch to stop him. For an instant, she watched his back shrink into the distance, unsure of what to say or if she should stop him, until she couldn't take it and came out after him. Less than 10 seconds had passed. That brief hesitation decided the outcome of this duel. She emerges from the trench. The battle was already over. Her giant protector looked at her as he disappeared. A breeze enters the clearing, as if to announce the end of the fight. Bro, Shirou is so fucking cool. Only sometimes, though. All she can see is the boy's back. See, he's becoming more and more like Archer as time passes, and now that binding is gone, Now that his arm is free, or I guess I should say Archer's arm is free, now he really is gonna be like Archer. Look, he's already showing her his back. Shit, we even saw Archer's back just a few minutes ago. The battle is over. The arm is no longer a heroic spirit's arm. The boy challenged death with his own power and won. She keeps watch over him. From behind, it seems as if he'll never look at her again. Freed of the holy shroud, the victorious boy looks so gallant. He won't show any more doubt. The moment he tore the shroud off and created that projection, he cast off all distractions.
Shirou.
She watches him gloomily from behind. The boy has become someone else, something else. He has chosen a foolish but noble conclusion, and there is no going back. Yeah, it is what it is. I restart my frozen lungs. It really isn't. It isn't just. It is what it is. Honestly, I'm just messing around. But it is pretty crazy to consider the situation of which we have Shirou in, and I do have to wonder, where do things go from here? Death is imminent, whether it is death for Shirou as we know him, and therefore the creation of something else in his place, or yeah, he's just gonna straight up die. My left arm feels hot and my entire body aches. An electric eel coils its way through my body. I can't possibly stand. Hurry. I need to hurry and wrap my arm in the shroud again. I'll hit the time limit unless I escape this pain. But I can't seal it back up quite yet. I can rest and put down this arm. Ah, fuck. Once I defeat her... I kind of forgot about Saber here for a moment. I face Saber. I swallow my pain and steel myself for another fight. Saber slowly approaches as if she'd always intended to tag in for the defeated giant. She stops. She's 7 meters away, close enough for her to close the gap and strike in one breath. I face her head on. I'm going to die. I can't move after fighting Berserker. I won't be able to avoid being cut in two when Saber rushes me. And that's not all. I wouldn't be able to beat her even if I was at my best. No matter what I do, I can't project anything stronger than Saber's noble phantasm. So this outcome is certain. The only person who can defeat Saber is someone with a noble phantasm rivaling hers. But that's a contradiction. In sheer offensive power, Saber has the ultimate noble phantasm. Well, there might be heroic spirits with stronger weapons than her sacred sword, but they're not in this Holy Grail War. Right now, only Saber's sword can defeat her. So it's a contradiction. In this situation, Saber is the strongest servant. The last time I saw Sakura, she had an inconceivable amount of magical energy. Even Sakura wouldn't be able to beat Saber. I don't know about that, actually. Unlike when I was her master, Saber now has an adequate energy source. She's effectively invincible.
無駄なことを。あなたでは桜は救えないと忠告した結果がそれか。
You know, I think you can argue that there is a bit of Saber. The Saber that we all know and love is still in there. If she was truly our, 100% enemy, I would argue maybe more of a 99% here, then she would not have given us this warning. She would have killed us way earlier on. Saber's voice is stone cold. That's the signal. She comes to cut me down without a shred of hesitation or mercy. So what? I can't let her kill me here. I can't lose even if I'm fighting Saber. I might not be able to beat her, but I can at least take Emiya and get away.
だが幸運だな。自滅する者に関わっている場合ではなくなった。
Oh, well.
桜が
That's convenient.
私を呼んでいる。
Saber turns her back on me and starts heading deep into the forest.
いや、運ではなく、自らの手で勝ち取った成果か。あなたはバーサーカーを倒した。その
Saber leaves without turning back. I can't stop her. She's the enemy. Whatever her reasons, I can only be grateful that she let us go. I'm wounded from head to toe. I can't afford to ask an enemy to stay. I bite back the pain and turn in the opposite direction as Saber fades into the distance. I need to take Ilya and leave this forest. Saber isn't our only enemy. We might have gotten away from Sakura in the shadow, but Zoken is still a threat as long as he's around. Yeah, we're donezo here. I know what's happening to my body. I know what will happen. I have 3 projections left. No, even 1 would be risky if I want to stay in one piece. I can't face Zoken, an assassin, in this condition. There's no point if my body tears itself apart right after I win. I need to keep my promise to Tosuka and save myself for that final effort. I might not be able to fight anymore, but there is still hope.
Shirou.
I hear Ilya's voice.
今は少しでも早く森を出よう。セイバーの。いや、さくらの気が変わったら今度こそ逃げきれない。
I can't look at Ilya. My heartbeat drums a cacophony that's bouncing around inside my skull. I hate it when that happens. You know, some may call it a migraine. Or something like that, I don't know. There have been quite a few interludes here, but where are we going to now? Are we heading back to Sakura to see why she called Saber back? No. We're going back to where Kodomine was. Purification by holy word. The priest's exorcism dispersed Zoken Mato's spiritual body. Only 2 men are left in the clearing. Kirie Kodomine leans against a wall, bloody and battered, his robe stained red. Assassin is pinned to a tree by black keys.
完全に魔術師殿を消したな、大公者。あれが虫の集まりだと知っていたのか。
Yeah, I'm sure he had, like, you know, some sort of feeling there. He turns to face the voice. Assassin is gone. Only a blood stain and the black keys remain embedded in the tree.
あれとは長い付き合いでな。虫を触媒にしてこちらに干渉する霊体だと知っていた。故に肉体をちぎったところで効果はない。
And that he somehow did.
跡形もなく肉体をすりつぶすか。
貴様のように霊体そのものに攻撃するか。なるほど。人間にしては強いくくりでとどまっていた魔術師殿だが、経典による聖言には弱かろう。悪霊払いとはよく言ったものだ。魔頭造剣にとって貴様は天敵だったということか。
The priest doesn't answer. He checks his injuries. His bleeding has stopped. He's lost his weapons, but he isn't critically wounded. A few minutes rest should be enough to recover his strength.
それでどうするのだ、アサシン。お前のマスターは消えた。魔力提供がなくなったお前ならば、私の聖言でも十分に通用するが。
だろうな。この体はじき消える。
Oh, well,
新しいマスターを
luckily for you
得なけれ
here.
ばこの森に漂う浮遊霊と大差はない。この身は一日を待たず下級霊に落ち、この世から消えるだろう。
そうだ。マスターのいないサーバントであらば、私でも傷は与えられる。それで、どうなのだ。主の敵討ちをするか、アサシン。
それほど推挙ではない。魔術師殿は慢心によって敗北した。私の落ち度とは思えぬ。
I mean, even I will give Assassin some credit. He didn't really like the direction the Zoken was going in either. He was very apprehensive.
思えぬが、合点のいかぬことがある。それを聞かねば収まりがつかん。
ザバーニーヤの不成功か。シャイタンより譲り受けた腕と見たが、ザバーニーヤの名を冠する以上、私に効き目はない。それは人を罰するものゆえ、同種の存在を呪えるものではない。すでに人のものではない私の心臓は、呪いにはめっぽう強いのだ。
やはり、貴様の心臓はあの娘と同じだった。貴様、すでに汚染されていたな。
The priest doesn't answer. His lips only curl into a sardonic smile.
だが、だとしてもなぜ知っていた？貴様の行動は私の腕が効かない。貴様は初めから私に宝具を使わせるつもりでいたな。
そうだな。お前の腕は知っていたぞ、アサシン。対象の心臓と全く同じ偶像を作り、反響存在とすることで実像の心臓とすり替える呪いの腕。私のサーバントはその腕によって破れたのだ。
では貴様は？
ああ、見ていたとも。知っていたのは当然だろう。ランサーを倒した時点でお前の失態は決まっていた。
確かにこれは失態だ。
Assassin clicks his tongue with loathing, but that is Kodamine's character when you think about it. He's always one step ahead. He's like a snake. He dismisses his bloodlust. Disappointed, he leaves. The priest's response seems to have satisfied his curiosity.
次の契約者を探しに行ったか。
I mean, come on, he's right there. Kodamine's right there, man. So, here it is. I would not have been able to figure that one out. I absolutely would have had no idea about this true name here. Hassan Sabah? Is that how you pronounce it? Well, let's read up on him here. An anti-hero, the leader of the Order of Assassins that has origins in the Middle East. Also known as the Old Man of the Mountain, he is the legendary head of the sect from which the name Assassin was derived. The story of how this leading sect, the largest religious group in the Middle East, became the Order of Assassins is a long and complicated one. To put it simply, they adhered to a stricter, fanatical doctrine. Even among the sects that did not hesitate to use violence for propagation, they were extreme. They were the only school of thought that preached obedience to absolute authority. They became an organization and used assassination as one of their political methods. The assassins would stimulate their minds using hashish and pull off things beyond human power. The name assassin means hashish. The person that radicalized them to that extent was the Old Man of the Mountain, Hassani Sabah. He occupied a castle in the mountains and built a thorough religious organization using it as a base. The assassination organization that continues to this day is the cog that Hassani Sabah created. It is said that no matter how many years have passed since its formation, the Old Man of the Mountain continues to exist in his school. His precise work was unmatched, and his alias was known to even distant foreign countries. He hid in the mountains without showing himself and killed those who went against God. His way of life was an inspiration for European poets. Hassan's anecdote became legendary while getting dramatized, and eventually the name assassin became synonymous with one who performs assassinations. His existence, exaggerated over many years, has become a modern-day illusion no less than the heroes in mythology. The Old Man of the Mountain, Hassani Saban, appears in several stories. He is the face of the unidentified assassins, and it is said that all those who become leaders of the cult imitate his name and appearance. Or rather, no other way of being is allowed. In the main story of the Holy Grail War, assassin class servants are all summoned as an Old Man of the Mountain. Hassani Saban is reborn every time one is replaced. Out of the dozens of party leaders, one is summoned to the present day as Hassan. Their true appearances and names from before taking the name Hassan from before becoming assassins forever lost. That is actually really fucking interesting here. I don't know if we've read about this before. I want to say that we have, maybe, but that is really interesting, actually. That is so interesting. Because the assassin that we knew back up here, I mean, I just kind of thought that he was just a cool-ass motherfucker, right? And, you know, I could probably continue to think that about our current assassin here. However, this seemed like an actual true embodiment of what you would expect of an assassin class servant, right? This guy met the criteria. He was sneaky. He was mysterious. death was sort of the symbol of his fucking face even. So it made sense, but I kind of like the idea here. He never really had a true name beyond just the fact that he was brought in under the name, under the origin of assassin. Wow. That's an interesting one, actually. I kind of want to like look into that a little bit more. Like, this is the one actual backstory that's actually really, really fascinating to me. Not that others are boring or anything like that. It's just, this one really sticks out for some reason. Anyways.
大方。次の雇用主は的桜といったところだが。
The priest has no problem with that. As long as Zoken Mato doesn't kill Sakura Mato, he doesn't care. Zoken wishes for immortality. Obtaining Sakura's body will satisfy that desire. As long as the old man is alive, the curse gestating within the Holy Grail will never be born. It would be meaningless to have Sakura become an insect's vessel after she has grown this much. He needs her to keep being a master. Because...
そう、お前には永遠にない。主は生まれながら欠落しておる。
He feels slightly dizzy when he stands up. He must be exhausted. The priest leans against a wall and sleepily closes his eyes for a time. Okay, so Zoken is supposedly like, he's gone. But Kodamine, I guess he's still good to go somehow. I guess it's that invincibility against the noble phantasm that Assassin has here. It happened 10 years ago. Flawed from the moment you were born, the man tried many things after he realized this truth. In his youth, he did not understand morals, but he did possess common sense. He attempted to overcome this flaw, but it was not to be. His pain and struggle ended in failure. His last effort was a woman. It was a simple tale. Any human dreams of loving someone of the opposite sex, having a family, and dying a peaceful death. No one spurns that peace or fails to dream of it. He was no exception. Even if it didn't appeal to him at all, he decided that it would be nice to have. And he loved a woman to obtain some measure of human-like happiness. He chose a woman with no future. She was ill with only years left to live. Did he choose her because of that, or because he had no other choice? Even now, he's not sure why. They spent about 2 years together. The man tried to love the woman. The woman did her best to love him back, and she gave him a child. But the outcome did not change. The man found happiness in his woman's suffering and his child's despair. The more he tried to love her, the more she suffered. To him, it was the only saving grace of their bond. The contradiction did not bother him. He is not even sure if he suffered. But the more the woman tried to soothe him, the more he found himself wanting to see her grief. She was a saint. She was frail, but she would have called her a saint. It need not be said how profound her faith was and how well she understood his rage. That is why he nearly despaired. He would never again meet someone who understood him so well and tried to heal him, but even this woman could not fill the void within him. So there was no need to question his life any longer. He was born flawed. His birth was a mistake. He concluded that if he was a mistake, then he should disappear. He went to part ways with the woman before his death. He married her as an experiment, so he was obligated to let her know it was over. The woman loved Kodamine. Kodamine tried to love her too. That's all there was to it. The end came all too quickly.
私にはお前を愛せなかった。
He told her in a room surrounded by stone walls. The woman smiled on her deathbed. Her body, all skin and bones, could not even stand anymore.
いいえ。あなたは私を愛しています。
Then she smiled and ended her own life. He didn't try to stop her. There would have been no point in doing so. The woman had a terminal illness. She would have died sooner or later. He knew that when he chose her. As her consciousness faded, the blood-soaked woman looked up at the man and laughed.
ほら、あなた、泣いているもの。
Of course, he didn't shed a single tear. He only looked that way to her. With her death, the woman proved to him that he could love someone, and that his life was worth living. He left the room without saying another word and abandoned the Lord's teachings. Yeah, he did think it was sad, but not because she died. In that moment, he thought,
なんということだ。どうせ死ぬのなら私が手を下したかった。
what a lovely individual. I think we can all agree here. He did not mourn her death, but lamented the fact that he couldn't enjoy it. It happened a long time ago. He can't remember her face anymore, never mind her voice. But sometimes he thinks,
私が手を下したかった。
would that have brought him joy? Or was it because he loved her that he was sorry he couldn't kill her? He would sever that train of thought whenever he found himself dwelling on it. That question should be left to eternity. The woman's death was meaningless, because her devotion failed to change him. But he did not want it to be worthless. He would never try to answer that question. It happened a long, long time ago. It was the memory of a man nourished by the misfortune of others who found fulfillment in the world's corruption. After that, the man met his arch-nemesis, Kiritsugu Emiya, a mage who chose to invalidate everything the man might have wanted for himself. I wonder if we get to learn more of that watching Fate Zero. People have told me that I've pretty much been given the green light. I should go and watch that at some point. So that'll probably be after I'm done with this, done with watching the Heavens Feels movie, or movies. Then I'll probably go back and watch that. I gotta really get into this shit. The priest opens his eyes. It seems he was asleep for a while. After confirming that his strength has returned, he begins walking to catch up to Shirou Emiya.
いいえ、どこにも行けない。
Hello, Sakura.
だって、あなたはここで死ぬんだもの。
A girl blocks his path. Oh, shit. She is completely changed. She is clothed in her own shadow. Her dark magical energy cloaks her like a part of her own body. The sheer amount of her magical energy and her existence are no longer that of a human's. Her spiritual caliber has now reached the level of a pure heroic spirit, a counter guardian.
完全に汚染されたな、マトウサクラ。
You think?
体だけではない。精神まであの呪いに同調しなければ、そこまでの変貌はない。認めたな。自分が怪物なのだと。
The priest denounces her, even though he wished for it. He scolds her for becoming drunk on her own power.
そう。自分の力に酔うのはいけませんか。けど、きっと仕方のないことなんですよ。もっとみんなが優しかったら、私だってもう少しぐらい我慢したと思うんです。
ほう。我慢とは何をかな。
自分をですよ。神父さん、こうなってやっと認められました。私を捨てた遠坂の家。私とは何もかも違う。何不自由なく生きてきた姉さん。怖いおじいさまとかわいそうな兄さん。私の痛みも知らず平穏に過ごす街並み。そういうのが今はすごく許せないんです。これが八つ当たりだって理解しています。けど悪いことだって分かっていても思ってしまうんです。そう、今まで私を助けてくれなかったすべてに私を思い知らせてあげたらどんな顔をするのかって。
The girl smiles in grim delight. The priest is unaffected. He looks at the girl like something dirty.
変わったな、マトウサクラ。なるほど。その闇も適合するための素質だったというわけか。
ええ、変わりました。私は今までのマトウサクラじゃない。あんな弱い子はもういないの。そう、今まで みんな私を苦しめてきたんだもの。その仕返しに私がみんなを苦しめてあげるだけ。
She giggles. Multiple personalities. Sakura Mato is gone, replaced by a separate personality that was sleeping within. It's the only explanation for her wildly different, charming attitude. But
何を言う。隠す必要などないぞ、的桜。
the priest denies her with a blunt sentence.
何を。
隠す必要などないと言った。お前は別人格などではない。泥に飲まれ、暴力に酔うお前もまた的桜だ。異なる人格を用意し、的桜は悪くないなどと言い訳をする必要はない。
Actually, I have to agree with Kodamine here. I think this is still the Sakura we know, but it is a form of corruption. She has been pushed over the ledge. The girl's face stiffens. Is it true? The blackened girl grits her teeth and glares back at the priest.
何よ。あなたが私をこうしたくせに。
Her shadows writhe in concert with her loathing. They erode everything around her like a blaze. The speed with which her shadows covered the ground is nothing like before.
否定はせん。私がお前を生かしたのは、あれのマスターを続けさせるためだ。その期待に応え、お前は見事アベンジャーを誕生させようとしている。私ではできなかったことを、お前は難なくやってのけたのだ。
難なくなんかじゃない。私がどれだけ苦しかったのか、今もどれだけ苦しいのか知りもしないで。
知らんし、知る必要もない。小娘の恨み事を聞くほど酔狂ではないのでな。
そうですね。私も知ってほしいなんて思わない。そんな簡単に同情なんてされてやらない。私はこれから一方的に思い知らせる立場なんですから。
A cruel smile plays across her lips. The priest doesn't hesitate to retreat. He moves with the same swiftness that caught Zoken Mato in midair. He only takes one bound away. The girl is an amateur, despite her enormous magical power. He can easily get away from someone who lacks experience in both combat and magecraft.
バカな人。逃げられると思うの。
Well, he's definitely trying, that's for sure. She snickers. Instantly, the priest goes limp and tumbles to the ground. He tumbles down. Kirie Kodamine crumples, spewing something red from his mouth. It doesn't stop. He keeps vomiting blood, and each time he tries to fill his lungs with air, he coughs more blood.
どうですか？心臓をわしづかみにされた感想は。どこにいようと、あなたの命は私の手の上なんですよ。神父さん、あなたはもう10年前に死んでいた。エミやキリズクに心臓を撃ち抜かれて死んだんです。
Wait, is that true?
それでも生きてこれた理由はただ一つ。あなたは誰だったかな。この前食べたサーバントさんなんですけど。
Yeah, he was the master of Gilgamesh.
名前なんていいですよね。あの金色の人が聖杯の中身を浴びて、まずあれとつながった。けど、あの人は汚染できなくて、あれはマスターであるあなたに流れていったんですよね。そうしてあなたは蘇生した。アベンジャー。アンリマユから魔力を供給されることで。
What?
そうか。では、今のは。
はい。あなたはアンリマユとつながっている。
Is that the Holy Grail? The name of the Holy
アンリ
Grail?
マユはもう私でしょ。
The one that was summoned 10 years ago?
だから、潰してあげたんです。 今まであなたを生かしていたかりそめの心臓を壊しました。お望みなら中身を全部潰してあげましょうか。
I mean, a swifter death would probably be good.
私の手はあなたがどこにいようとその中身を引きずり出せるんですから。
The girl raises a hand. Her gracious offer isn't sincere at all. She has no intention of letting the priest leave alive. She'll just laugh and kill him if he begs for his life. She'll take back the temporary life that sustained him. After all, it belongs to her. Even if the amount of magical energy he has is equivalent to a speck of dust in the corner of her bedroom, she doesn't need to let him have it.
さよなら。私を生かしてくれたことだけは感謝しますね、神父さん。
The girl's lovely fingers curl around an invisible doll. There's a squeezing noise. The priest on the ground is wrung out like a rag. Just one more twist. In less than a second, the priest will die completely. But just before that... The hell's happening here? The girl crumples to her knees. She's savaged by nausea and discomfort. She claws at the blackened ground as if pleading for help. The shadows expand. Something must have happened. The black robe covering her body suddenly blooms before returning to its original size. Okay, so that's where we're at here in the timeline of events. There can't be any other reason. Berserker was defeated. With his death, the pure magical energy of his soul flowed into the girl, the Holy Grail. Her mind twists. Sakuramato's personality is pushed further to the edge. There shouldn't be any more room, but a massive soul has her pressed against a wall. She'll disappear. She'll be gone for good. At this rate, Sakuramato will disappear. She remembers that she meant to kill the priest and looks up. She curses herself for being too slow to follow through. Oh, I don't know. Like I said earlier, he's a bit of a snake, you know, he's able to get around some stuff. The ruins are empty now. All that remains on the spot where Kirie Kuromine had been lying is his bloodied vestment. He's somehow got away from that shit, I can't believe it. What an interlude. But damn, I think we can all agree that Sakura is just a little bit hotter with that white hair, and the evil red eyes, and the murderous intent. I think it's all there. Why do we have this music playing? What the fuck? Okay, well, whatever. We'll call it on that for this episode. A little longer than I was expecting, but nothing wrong with that as we slowly but surely approach the end here. Or at least, I hope we're approaching the end here. This definitely feels like we're in climax territory, but I could be wrong. I really could be. Thank you all for tuning in, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this one. I sure did. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more so I can see you guys for the next one as we see whatever the hell Shirou is going to do with his, not much life remaining. Take it easy, guys.